If you got American Express points, you're probably overlooking some of the best sweet spots available to you, and it's because you're not taking ANA seriously as a transfer partner. People tend to overlook them because it's a Japanese airline, and you might think it's only good for flights to Japan. And spoiler alert, that's not true. Here are the 3 reasons why I think they're so overlooked. 1, American Express is the only bank that transfers to ANA, so it's not mentioned as much as other partners like Air Canada and Avianca. 2, only one award search tool, Roam, claims to search this program, but it's subject to regular outages. And 3, they once required round-trip bookings when using points. However, that's no longer the case as of 2025, so now it's a lot more attainable to redeem your ANA points for redemptions since less points are required up front than before. So in this video, I'll share with you some solid redemptions this partner has to offer, and I'll also show you how to use any award search tool to help you find availability as well. So be sure to watch until the end because it's not all fun and games with ANA. I've got some warnings for you that you'll really want to take heed of. But first, let's talk about how they price their flights and get into our first sweet spot, flights to Japan. ANA's flights to Japan are priced on an award chart that considers 2 factors: what region they're in and what season they're flying in. Now, I don't mean spring or summer. I'm talking about if it's in the low, regular, or high season. They show the dates of each season on their website, and I'll link that in the description for you. Then they also split the world into different zones. So Hawaii is its own zone, and then North America is one as well. If we look at the award table for flights between our North American zone and Japan, we can see one-way premium economy flights will cost you just between 31,000 and 36,000 points if you can catch a flight within the low and regular season. And then the price jumps up to 50,500 points if you land within the high season. So you'll definitely want to prioritize the low and regular seasons if at all possible. You've also got the business class and economy points prices to check out there as well. And now I'm purposefully highlighting premium economy because finding business class flights, even on ANA's own website, is becoming more and more of a pipe dream for most regular people. Many tactics to book business class now involve stocking availability as it gets released on ANA's website down to the minute. So I believe premium economy is a nice compromise of comfort and price. Now, the fees on these flights to Japan are going to be around $200, and it may vary depending on the cost of the fuel at the time. Currently, it's about $170 one way, and now this is easily worth it for a business class flight, of course, and it's often worth it for a premium economy flight, which can cost around $900 to $1,000 one way. But for an economy flight, even with that low points price of 20,000 to 25,000 points, I would be sure to do the math to see if the value is still there compared to the cash price, because there are some cheap flights to Tokyo that can exist. Here's an example of the math being done for a real redemption that you can use ANA points, where you'll get less than 1 cent per point on an economy flight. But let's dive into the best way to search availability for ANA's own flights, and that's going to be on their website. Here's how to navigate it. So to get on ANA's website, you go to this URL, ana.co.jp/en/US. This is what the homepage looks like. And now you just want to be sure before moving on is that this location here says USA and English. So make sure to select a USA location. Sometimes it defaults to Tokyo. And if you leave that there, you're going to get Japanese yen as the taxes and fee, which isn't a big deal. You just have to do that conversion rate, on Google. But from here, you need to join and then go ahead and log in with these buttons up top. Once you're logged in, you'll scroll down a little bit and you'll see this option for flight awards. And now you've got these 4 options here. Now you see award calendar here and you probably get happy, but I'm going to tell you it's not as great as it seems, but it may be useful. Here's how to use it. It's only good for flights to and from Japan. And so you'll just type in the zone that you're in. So we're in North America, and then you can search whichever cabin you're interested in. So let's say we're looking for premium economy. And then it kind of gives you this interesting looking table. So it starts off as if you're in Japan is where you'll see it. So it's from Japan to LAX in this instance. And it tells you this key here. The triangle means it's tight availability and it's likely waitlisted. And then you've got circle for open, big circles, or 2 circles for wide open, and then some unavailable periods, whatever. So as you can see, this thing is full of triangles, except you do maybe see a couple of circles here and there. And you have the dates up top here. It's given to you 3 months at a time, November to December. And the reason why I say it's not that helpful is because this isn't like a live search. I think they search it for like 1 point of the day, and then they don't refresh it till the end of the day. But also, it's not super accurate. There is a circle here, and I'm sure that there is availability, which we can check, but there's also availability on other dates that often doesn't show up on this calendar. If you did want to go based on this calendar, you can click the departing date that you want, and then you can kind of slide over and click on whichever return date you want. So that's interesting. And then it will take you to the reservation page. But if you want to skip the calendar, here's how to get to the page in a different way. Whenever Whenever you're at the homepage, you click on flight awards, and then you'll simply select award reservation. And now if you are opening multiple tabs, I would recommend you close them as you go, because ANA does not like you searching on multiple tabs. It'll give you an error, and then you're kind of stuck figuring out what to do from there, or just kind of restarting. So now if we take a look at that premium economy flight that was suggested, we can switch over to a one-way flight by clicking here. And then a nice thing about ANA is that you can search plus or minus 3 days. So you can search a week at a time pretty easily. Search premium economy for class and the number of passengers you're looking for, and then go ahead and hit search. Now, if you are trying to book for a family member and you're not going to fly, you'll just want to be sure that you click this button here. Otherwise, you won't be able to continue with the booking process whenever you're actually ready to book. So after hitting search, there's usually a pop-up of some sort that always comes. Just go ahead and hit confirm. Oh, in this case, it's showing us that there's actually nothing available on this November 10th date. And now this is funny because the calendar says it was available, but if we scroll over to the next 7 days, they'll say there's no seats available on the date that we searched, the 17th, but they did find seats here. So let's look at the 14th. And then voila, we can see that this flight's available for 36,000 miles. And if we scroll down and wait a second, this flight is waitlisted. So be careful, because a wait list is not a good thing that you want to be on. It's not guaranteed that you'll get off the wait list, and it's not something I would bet my points on. However, you see that there is another flight available that we can actually book. And so this, if you remember, was not shown on the calendar, so don't trust it, and just do the search 1 week at a time in the way that we just did. So from here, you can go ahead and transfer your points and try to book, but I actually like to click next and see how far I can actually go. So you can actually see even more information here regarding the baggage that's allowed. And then this is as far as we can go here. Quick note, when we're back on this screen looking at our results, if you have a connecting flight, like let's say it's from JFK to LAX and then from LAX to Tokyo, be sure that that long haul is in premium economy or in business class if you're looking at a business class flight, because ANA has no qualms putting the short haul segment in business class, but then the long haul segment in economy, and then charging you for the full business class price or whatever the higher cabin is. So always do keep a close eye, look at that class, and make sure it doesn't say waitlisted. And then a quick reminder on how to transfer your points. You'll simply log into your American Express account. You'll see this rewards and benefits tab on the top menu. Then you'll see the second menu here. You'll just want to click earn and redeem and select transfer your points as the option here. That'll take you to this page, and you can find ANA towards the bottom here. But now let's get back into some other sweet spots available with ANA. So the next biggest sweet spot is flights to Europe. Especially for those on the West Coast, it's hard to find a better deal than this one. You can fly from the continental US to Europe for just 50,000 points one way in business class. And economy will cost you just 27,500 points one way. And now this is obviously a steal, right? Well, not so fast. It's kind of a yes and no situation. You see, ANA does pass along fuel surcharges depending on the airline you fly. And here's what I mean. If you see a flight on TAP Portugal, United Airlines, LOT Polish, or Turkish Airlines, and it's available to book with ANA miles, then you can expect tolerable fees. For TAP Portugal United, you're looking at about $5.60 on the way to Europe, and then $60 for the way back. And then if you're flying LOT Polish to Warsaw, Poland, that's going to cost you about $80 on the way there and $120 on the way back. Turkish Airlines to and from Istanbul is going to be $240 to $280 in fees. But if the flight you find is going to be on Swiss Airlines, Lufthansa, Austrian Airlines, or Brussels Airlines, you're looking at a $1,000 price tag in addition to the 50,000 points, which is a bummer because these airlines have a really good size footprint for flights to Europe from the United States. With that said, the argument could be made that the fees could be worth it depending on the cash price of the flight if there's no other options. But usually there are other options. So let me show you how I generally go about looking for these flights. Let's say we're going on a Europe trip and we're struggling to find a flight over from Europe back to LAX. Now, whenever I'm looking for award flights, I often use award search tools. And so for this example, I'm going to use Rome's Skyview feature. We're going to search for multiple airports from Europe to Los Angeles for the entire month of September just to see what we've got available here. The Skyview feature of Rome is a cache search, so the results that show up, they're not going to be live. They may be results that were found maybe a day or two ago, but they still may be helpful. It's a nice place to start, like I said, just to kind of cast a big net. So often whenever I start a search, I don't like to put too many filters. I like to kind of go one program at a time and chip away instead of applying that American Express filter if that's the only points we have. So I will set the premium mix to 60% so that way I kind of get the long haul segment in business class like I want. I see this Virgin Atlantic option can be good and applicable to American Express, but those fees are high. So let's see what else we've got. I'm going to take away both American Airlines as well as Virgin Atlantic because I can't really use any of those American airline options. Alaska's kind of the same situation. You can't really use that too much. So once we get past those redemptions, we start to see some redemptions here from Lisbon over to Canada, then to LAX. And then we got Avianca, kind of Lisbon to LAX here. That's interesting. And then even more so on United. We got a lot of flights coming from Lisbon on the Star Alliance members, United and Life Miles, and Air Canada. So seeing these TAP Portugal flights available to book with Avianca Life Miles and with United Airline Miles is a big clue because all these airlines are within the Star Alliance. And you know who else is in the Star Alliance? ANA. By the way, this is my transfer partner guide. If you're interested in downloading it, you can get it for free down in the description. So instead of paying 70,000 or 80,000 points for this flight, we can now go check to see if it's available on ANA to book for 50,000 points instead. To search that, you would do the same way that we just discussed here. And sure enough, if we scroll down on the results page, we could see that same flight available for 50,000 miles and $63 here. Now, I do want to be transparent that this process that I went through is not foolproof. For example, we do see some nice connecting flights. Like if you're coming from London and you're okay with a connection in Lisbon and then going to LAX and this flight is available on United, in theory, it might be available on ANA. But if we do this search and kind of click through these errors and select next, it says that there's seats available. However, you will always get this error and I can't find a way around it. I actually don't know if this flight is or is not available on ANA. So if you see these flights where there's a connecting flight like within Europe, it's usually the case that I can find this long haul available, but maybe not the full itinerary, unfortunately. I will also state that you may have some better luck finding more availability if you just kind of hunt and peck 1 week at a time on ANA's website, but you'll probably also come across a lot of dummy availability. And I mean dummy, not that they're phantom awards, more so that you'll find the long haul economy versus business. And so you have to click through every single date to be sure. So I often like to use award search tools and try to narrow down the amount of searching I need to do. Also, I mentioned that Rome does state that they search ANA and Mileage Club on their program. However, it's not currently working. To check, you would just simply click on this ANA program and it will take you to Skyview and filter just for ANA flights. And if it was working, I would expect to see some flights here. And so like if I type in anywhere to Japan and kind of get rid of some of these filters here, you can see it's not showing up. I have seen it work before. Whenever it is working, it would be a good use to find those premium economy flights or other ANA flights. However, ANA is just one of those tricky programs that's difficult for award search tools to get results from. Just as a FYI, in the video just earlier, I use Roam Skyview feature, which is a premium feature, but you can also use a similar function on Points Yeah for free with their Daydream Explorer. You can also use other award search tools like Award Tool and Seats.Aero, and now you can learn all about these tools in the video linked up above. And then also, as you can see, I don't necessarily go into my search looking for flights to Europe with booking through ANA as the goal, but it's more so a second thought or something I keep in the back of my mind. Now, you may also want to keep them in the back of your mind when looking at essentially any international Star Alliance flight, because ANA can be a competitive partner when looking at flights to South America, Africa, Australia, and even New Zealand. But they're not as slam dunk of deals as the 50,000 points business class to Europe. So I'm not going to bother with the award charts and get into the weeds with those. Just remember that if you find a good points deal on Air Canada, United, or Avianca, then there's a good chance that's a Star Alliance airline and it might be available on ANA. So I would go ahead and hop over to their website and search it to see what the price is. And now, all right, so we've talked about the deals to be had, but that's right, it's time for a big old but. Here's the problem with ANA even now that the whole round trip debacle is over, which I already mentioned earlier. And this problem is that it still takes American Express 2 to 3 days or more for your points to transfer over to ANA. And you can't hold the itinerary by calling or doing anything fancy like that. You just got to hit transfer, cross your fingers, hope and pray. And besides doing those things, it'll be a good idea to look for a backup plan or a backup option, or at minimum, just be confident that you could book another itinerary in the future with your ANA points. And when I say in the future, I do mean at least within 3 years, because that's the other thing. Your ANA points have a hard expiration date. They expire 3 years after earning or having them in your account. So if you transfer your points and booked a flight a year from now and you cancel your flight, nearly 350 days or nearly a year from now, and you cancel it, then you have just over 2 years left to use those points. There's no way to extend the expiration date. So those are the two things to be aware of and to plan for before transferring your points and going ahead with this redemption on ANA. But hopefully now that you know how to find availability, you'll be a little bit more confident with knowing how to use them if you do need to cancel. And then speaking of canceling, if you need to, luckily ANA just charges a modest 3,000 points per person, but there are no change fees so long as you do so more than 96 hours from the departure date. There are some restrictions on the changes that can be made, so be sure to check out ANA's website for details on that. Now, let me know what you think about redemptions with ANA down in the comments. And if you are wondering if there's some kind of tool out there that helps you spot or at least clue you into some of these sweet spot partner redemptions like this one without having to memorize all the airline alliance crap, well, there is this one tool that has a feature that somewhat does this. I give you all the details in the video linked up here. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Michael with Nurse Michael Travels.